Hello and welcome to KennyRoy.com. I'm Kenny Roy. This is the Ask Videomail for the week of July 29th, 2013. Welcome to the site to the new members and welcome back to the old. Don't forget the Ask Videomail is your chance to get your question in character animation or performance answered in a video just like this one, but I need your question if I'm going to answer it, so please send your questions to webmaster@kennyroy.com. I go through all the questions and I answer the ones that I think will help the most people. There's no such thing as a stupid question, and it is the best way to get the most out of the site. I really appreciate you being here. I hope you're enjoying the videos. If you're on a free trial, don't forget to, take a look at everything that you can before your trial runs out. But also, you can earn referral bonuses if you are on the free trial. All you have to do is sign up for the affiliate program or refer somebody. And if they use your username when they sign up and they put you in as their refer, you will get automatic free time added to your time here. And if you're on a free trial, you can still get that referred time. So you get 30 days free if someone signs up for 30 days or 60 days on KennyRoy.com, and a 60-day free added to your account right when someone signs up for a year. So it's a really great way. And I actually had, in the beginning of KennyRoy.com, there was someone that was actually on KennyRoy.com for about a year and a half, completely for free, just because they referred like a dozen or so friends. So that's kind of cool. Look at all of those programs that are available to you. If you just look at the bonus programs, just in the menu right here, it says bonus. Check it out. Just get it on. Just rock and roll. This has been a pretty fun couple of weeks. Collabs ended, and then last week was SIGGRAPH. I'm going to be writing like I always do, the article for the month that SIGGRAPH falls in is always going to be a SIGGRAPH roundup. And there's been a couple articles that have come out already that have been talking about the state of the industry and what's going on. I'd like to think that we are doing our best to try to change it from within. I'd love to hear what you think. If you think that we're spinning our tires, or if you think we're actually doing some good stuff. I'd love to hear your opinion. So just let me know. You can even post me a message on Facebook or Twitter, and I'll take a look at it. Things are if they're going to change, they're going to change soon. So we're going to have to have a lot of faith and do a lot of hard work to get things done. So anyway, that's how I feel. But I'll leave the majority. I'll leave the meat and potatoes of that article for when I do actually write the article. Okay. Let's see. I think that's it for announcements. Otherwise, things are going very, very well. The Little Painter blog has started, and I know I'm behind. I apologize again. It was never my intention to make anybody feel like it wasn't getting done, but it is. And if you go to thelittlepainterfilm.com, and if you are a Kickstarter backer that has access to the behind-the-scenes blog, it's prodblog, P-R-O-D-B-L-O-G, prodblog.thelittlepainterfilm.com. But you can find all that stuff on the website anyway. Okay, cool. I'll leave it at that. Let's take a look at the question. I think you will like it. Okay, good question, me. I just raced right over this topic when I was recording this month's lecture, and I thought I would go a little bit more into it so you can like we do on every topic on KennyRoy.com, we go in depth where other curriculums and maybe a full school can't focus this much on it. So this Ask Videomail is my own question, of course, but it is driven by something that I was inspired to talk about through the lecture, which is your guys' content. So it is still sort of like user-driven, but anyway, I do believe that it's worth talking about. Essentially, what a tangent is, and I said it this way in the lecture, but it bears repeating, is basically when you have the periphery, or sort of like the contours of multiple objects that are on multiple planes, all intersecting in the same place in 2D space, in composition. And what that does is it flattens everything. It makes everything almost feel like it's on the same plane. And that's really detrimental to your composition, because we want it to feel like there's 3D space. We want to feel like there's depth to our scenes. So I'm going to really quickly, I guess, kind of draw what it is, and then I'll show you what it is as well. So take a look. So if we just have, let's just pretend like we have some objects here. So we've got a sphere, and this is in the scene, right? And it's a 3D object, but I'm going to leave it just as a contour right now because it is it kind of like serves the purpose a little bit better. Then right here we have a, there we go, just touching. We have a cube, okay? This cube also in the scene, and we have next to that we have a let's say a pyramid, okay? You'll have to forgive kind of the rough freehand. When you look at it like this, obviously, the way that they're arranged, this looks like all of these objects are on the exact same plane. In fact, if you squint your eyes, you actually get a very strong kind of like 2D feeling about this. They actually feel flat in and of themselves, all right? But even if you have a little bit of 3D perspective on them, like if I extrude this cube outwards, it feels like they're touching. Well, I can conceive of a configuration of these where what we're actually looking at is the camera right here, okay? A sphere right here, a cube sort of behind it, like this, and then a pyramid behind that one, like this, okay? Can you all imagine that? All right, so look at this one more time. I'm going to actually just move this, scale it down, and move it out of the way a little bit. And now look here. Oops. Just going to make sure that your lasso is big enough. Here we go. Okay, so look at these two things. We have essentially a complete 3D scene that has been turned into a total flat representation of itself because of the way that these all line up. Okay, and so this is where the and this is a really good representation of it, because if you imagine a handle up here, right, and a handle down here, it actually looks like a tangent on this surface, doesn't it? Right? So this is a tangent right here where they touch, and so is this. Okay? Now normally tangents, the kind of the way they work is this is not as strong a tangent as this one, because something about the way that curved goes into straight always makes it feel like it has an even more of a flattening effect. And I think that is because it has that tangent effect to the surface, all right? This conceivably, I mean, you can squint your eyes and look, and you can conceivably push this triangle further back in space a lot easier than you can actually move this sphere back in space. I mean, it really actually looks like they're touching, right? And perhaps it's also because like that line, that contour almost like thickens as it gets into that point of tangency. But that happens with shadowing as well. That happens with contours of 3D objects as well. Okay, so this is basically, you know, what we're trying to avoid. I'll go into Maya and I'll show you pretty much the exact same setup. Okay. Even and I'm going to do it even in 3D. Okay, but let me turn off this grid because that's not quite fair. Okay, exact same thing just happened here. You see that? So in Let me make a new perspective, okay? In our 3D scene, there is a lot of depth here. And if we were moving, this camera kind of went across, then we would get that depth, okay? However, we don't get that depth when we have these things just basically all coming to a certain point. In the lecture, basically what was going on was I was seeing Groggy, his kind of like we had his ear and his cheek, and then going down into his chin, and it was kind of his shirt. So here's his neck, and the line of his shirt was down like this, but also his shoulder was like this, and here's his nose, right? He's got a big goofy smile with his big teeth, right? So this is what was happening. I was getting a huge amount of like flattening of my composition because what we were looking at was all of these contours, the contour of the neck and the contour of the chin meeting with the contour of that shoulder. What I ended up having to do, which was not hard, was just raise the shoulder, okay? So that was very easy. Let me do that really quickly. When I raised the shoulder, all of a sudden, we had a lot more of a 3D composition because it felt like the chin was actually coming forward, right? Coming towards us, okay? And the shoulder was actually being pushed backwards, away from us, okay? This is a issue that is really important. Joe Cassander was here at Collabs, and he talked about Boo Boo. Now Boo Boo sort of has like his nose that like comes out, and he's got his little mouth, right? And then he basically his chin comes down and meets his body, and there's a bow tie right here. And in 2D, this works really well because the bow tie can be drawn wherever you want, okay? Basically, you have his eyes, and then his hair comes up right here, right? Please forgive my terrible boo-boo, my terrible boo-boo drawing, all right? But at any rate, see this line, this dynamic that's going on right here, okay? See how this comes down, and then you have the bow tie, which can be placed anywhere, okay? So, but what would happen was, this is something that Joe described, was that as Boo Boo would like turn around, this is what they would end up getting. His nose, right, would come down, right, and then you have his little mouth, right, but as he'd start turning towards us, you'd have that side of the face go right into where the bow tie is, and then his shoulder as well would kind of come out from somewhere like right here, okay, flattening everything. So what was the solution? The solution was they actually had to make it so that the bow tie was positioned with tangents in mind all the time, okay? So if they were getting this kind of tangency happening at this meeting point right here, they would take the bow tie, okay, and let me use a different color, fuchsia, right? Take the bow tie and actually move it like this, okay? So the bow tie actually felt, because this was going into the middle of the bow tie, right? It wasn't hitting, this corner right here, it actually felt like his chin was behind the bow tie. You see that? So that's the difference, okay? So again, kind of going back to 3D, this is why it's so important to pose to camera. Your character, look at the contours of your character. Let me reference Morpheus real quick, and we can experiment and investigate just a little bit further on this. When you're working with your character, it's very important to know where those moments are going to come up. Once they identified that with Boo Boo, they were actually free to kind of like move forward and kind of get excited about the control that they had, because they identified it and they started working forward, okay? Sorry it's taking me so long to find Morpheus. I just keep on going in circles here. There we go. Okay. So on Morpheus, I'm pretty sure that there's not going to be some too terrible of places that stick out too badly. But regardless, well, he does have these. All right. So these like arm straps. This is like a really bad tangent right here. Okay. See how his chin goes right into, let me turn off these curves here. See how his chin goes right into and tucks in perfectly into this? We have horrible tangents going on right here. In fact, if you kind of like squint your eyes, you can actually flatten this without even really trying at all. You can really actually, like in your vision, squint at this right now. And look, you can really imagine his chin is resting on that shoulder. That's how easy it is to make this feel flat, okay? So especially if you have, you know, contours that are hugged by geometry lines or texture lines like this, these are going to be trouble areas, okay? So not really seeing anything too bad. This is create a little bit of a tangent right here. See that? The corner of the ear with the jawline and then the back of the neck. That feels super flat as well, okay? Just trying to find some more. Yeah, I think that's probably all that needs to be. Yeah, that chin in this area, very, very, very dangerous. Here's on the other side. Just squint your eyes. You can literally make it so that it looks like in your vision, your field of vision, that his chin is resting on that shoulder. Okay, so be on the lookout for that. You want to you know don't let the air out of your compositions. Don't let tangents, you know, kind of cut the legs off from everything that you're trying to do. It's really important to bear all these things in mind. And I know it's right when you think that there's nothing else to learn with posing or composition or staging or silhouette or any of the other principles of animation. Something pops up and it's a new thing. I promise there's not too many more that we need to talk about, but tangents it's not talked about too much, but again, vitally important to understand and to work with. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that question. Please send in your questions. I love to get your questions, and I love getting Maya files. Just send me your Maya file if you're having a technical problem or a creative issue. I'll take a look at it for you. The address to send them to is webmaster@kennyroy.com. Look forward to seeing a lot more of you guys, and good luck with your animation. As always, rock on.